today we're going to be talking about the Buck 110. Now, Buck knives are made in the USA. They have a history that goes back further, but it was first incorporated in 1961. I know that they did make military knives for the United States during World War II, but it was first incorporated in 1961. In 1964, they debuted the Model 110 folding hunter knife, or the Buck 110. And that's this model right here. It quickly became one of the most popular knives ever made, and it's still imitated by knife makers all around the world even to this day. It's a really beautiful knife. Okay, we'll get into some of the specs of this knife. The blade length is 3 3/4 inches long. The weight of this knife is 7.3 ounces. The blade steel is 420 high carbon stainless steel, and it's kind of a middle of the road stainless steel. It would be on the same level as AUS 8 or maybe the Chinese steel HCR13 MOV. It's going to be kind of in that range. It's a really good middle of the road high carbon stainless steel. The blade thickness is going to be 0.12 inches or 3 millimeters. This knife closed is 4 7/8 inches long. This wood inlay, it used to be ebony wood, but in the 1990s they switched to a resin treated wood called Crelicam. It's spelled Crelicam, but it's a resin treated wood. It's very durable. Okay, Buck also does an excellent heat treatment on their blades. They use a heat treatment process called the Paul Boss heat treatment, and it allows for really good edge retention. Okay, we'll take a closer look at this blade. It's a very beautiful clip point blade. At the bottom of the blade right here, it's going to have Buck 110 and then USA. The other side, there's not going to be anything. The grind on this blade is a hollow grind, so there's a flat part right here. Then it's hollow grind all the way to the edge. You have a really big nail nick right here, and you have a really nice swedge on this clip point blade. And that swedge on the top of it, it's not sharp to where it would cut you, but I mean it's got kind of, it comes down to a pretty fine point, and that's the blade. Okay, we'll look at the handle a little closer. You can see it's pin construction. The wood is a very dark colored, almost black in color. You have really heavy duty brass bolsters on both sides, really thick. You can see it's lined in brass, and you see the locking mechanism here, and then you've got brass on both sides of that. Very beautiful knife. I haven't used this knife in a while. I'm going to have to clean it up a little bit, and I plan on carrying EDCing this at work all next week, so I'm going to clean it up with some of this. It's Brasso. It's been around for a long time, and you basically just shake it up and it cleans and polishes stainless steel and brass. And it says on here it's good for copper, chrome, aluminum, pewter, and bronze. Okay, this is not the original sheath that the Buck 110 comes with. I got this off of Amazon. It's the gun and flower Buck 110 sheath. It's really heavy duty, really nice, and the Buck 110 goes in just like this. It's really tight, not coming out, doesn't rattle around or move around, and it's a really nice sheath. Okay, I'm just going to rub this Brasso and just slather it on everything. After I get work it on the whole knife, I'm just going to let it dry, and then I'm going to wipe it off, and it should look a lot better. Okay, now we're just going to get a clean cloth, and we're going to wipe this Brasso off. Okay, we'll get a little close-up view after I've cleaned it with the Brasso. Looks a lot brighter, a lot cleaner. Even brightened up the little brass pins. Looks a whole lot better to me. And it'll even clean up this stainless steel. It's got that looking a little better. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of this oil and put it right there on the pivot. And this stuff is called Tuf-Glide. So then I'll just get it and open it, just kind of work that oil in the pivot. And I'll get me a cloth and I'll wipe away whatever excess oil came out. Now for the sheath, I'm just going to rub on some with this applicator, regular old black shoe polish. Now, I don't usually put black shoe polish on my knife sheaths. I was just trying something, but it did put a nice little shine on it. And the knife is looking a whole lot better. and I'm ready to start my week with a nice, clean, polished Buck 110. Okay, YouTube, this is going to be my EDC for all of next week. I've got my Buck 110, I've got the Olight Art Filled, I've got a small pry bar made by O-Knife called the Optical 2, and I've got a skull and pistons coin. Really cool looking coin. I hope everybody is having a great new year, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time.